Coach, how do they look, and specifically Trey Lamar, how's he been?
He's been fine. He's been fine. Just okay, as far as just where we are practice-wise. I mean, we're not anywhere near where we need to be or I want us to be, and I think just very kind of average yesterday and today, to be honest with you. And it's a little different challenge for us this year. As I've said, last several years when we've started bowl practice, school's been over and we've had all bowl focus. But everything's pushed back a week later, so we've been having to balance finals and prepping for that, recruiting. There's been a lot going on this week, so just not quite the edge or the focus that we need yesterday or today. So thankfully today was the last day of finals, so starting tomorrow we'll have hopefully full attention on what we got to do to get ready to play this ball game. But so I mean, not terrible, but just pretty average first couple days. But we'll ramp it up tomorrow.
I thought there was some truth in what you were joking with Nick about the other night about nobody good enough to be in a finalist. But does it seem like maybe this team has been more about team than individuals this year?
Well, I mean, I don't know if that insinuates last year being about individuals, and it wasn't, because last year they were a great team, very unselfish group, guys that were great teammates. They were just more high-profile guys that just got people wrote about and talked about more. But I think that's probably the biggest difference is this team's just kind of been just not as highly publicized. Some of the individuals. We had some big personalities like Bo Ware last year. Deshaun wasn't necessarily a big personality, but he was a big presence. But I think that these guys have just kind of been businesslike all year, and they've really done a great job of getting ready and finding ways to win, regardless of the situation. But they definitely have been every sense of the word, they've been a very close team.
Does your style change when you have so many guys that have been through this process with the media attention and knowing what's in store when they get down to New Orleans?
Does my style change?
Your process, or?
No, I mean we just do what we do. Whether we got 100 seniors or 6, we just do what we do. I mean we're gonna practice, we're gonna get ready, and at the end of the day, players got to go play. I mean we're gonna get them a great plan, and we're gonna put them through the preparation that they need to, but teams have to take ownership of the opportunity in front of them. But we'll do what we do as far as here at Clemson, and then once we get to the bowl site, we believe in what we do and challenge the leadership to kind of carry the task at hand.
Is the biggest difference between this third matchup with Alabama the fact that both teams have so much more time to game plan for each other?
Oh, yeah.
More of a chess match in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I think even when you only had a week, it was still, you had the same amount of time, but it's definitely the biggest difference because both teams, it'll be it's a long time, longer for them than us, a week longer, because we did play a championship game, but long time since you've been on the field. It's not as quick a turnaround. And even though, when you go into last year when we went into the Ohio State game, we had already had Washington and Alabama broken down completely, so we were ready. We had all of our scout report stuff done, so you always have that stuff done, but you just have more time to practice to get ready for the opponent. So that's the biggest difference for sure, but it's the same for both teams.
There's a guy standing right over there that I look at him and I think of 2013 and the preparation for the LSU bowl game. Do you think you're where you are today without that win? That here we are and we think we belong now?
I don't know about that win, but probably not here without that guy. I mean, and that was 2012 in the LSU game. 2013 was Ohio State that season. So, again, that was a huge game, but I think the fact that Taj came here and was that first quarterback to win that first 10-win season, our first ACC championship. Now we're going for year 8, 10-win seasons next year, and that was that first big bowl win Now we've won a bunch of big bowl wins, so he definitely was a guy that paved the path here. He and Deshaun and Rodney are the winningest quarterbacks in the history of the school. So again, that game was a big moment, but it's more about that guy and who he was as a player and how he represented our program and how he bought in. And he was coachable and laid it on the line every single week for the Tigers.
How was Saban and his defense over the years evolved to defend all the stuff in terms of spread offenses?
Yeah, just change, just personnel. I mean, I think they recruited some different type of guys, and then just that nickel Sam position. That's kind of like you see guys like what we got. We'll play a lot of nickel. They play a lot of nickel, just because of the style of play. Used to, they were a heavy, Sam backer type of a guy. Just I think personnel. You look at some of these guys that they've recruited in there coming off the edge. And then also how they coach the ends, how they coach the outside backers, the technique, just simply because of more knowledge, spread offenses and things like that. That's probably the biggest thing. And then what they see in their league has forced that. It's not just lining up and people running the ball anymore. I mean, so you got to be able to defend running quarterbacks. So I think they've recruited a lot of DBs and more athletic guys.
Since we're reminiscing about the Taj Boyd era, Chad Morris made a lot of news getting the Arkansas job the other day. Have you reached out to him at all? And since then, how nice is it to see him kind of move up the coaching ranks?
Oh, it's great. Oh, yeah. I've talked to him several times before he got the job, and once he got it, and just tickled to death for him. Really, I think it's a good fit for him because I think if you're going to be successful in Arkansas, you probably need to have some Texas ties. So I think that's a good transition for him there, and I think that he's at a place that's going to have the resources and the commitment to go try to compete at the highest level. And I'm sure they got probably a ways to go, but and if they'll hang in there with him, he'll get them going. He'll put a good staff together, and they'll go recruit. At the end of the day, I mean, that's you got to go recruit. And I think they did that at SMU. I mean, you can be a great coach when they win one game his first year, so you better go recruit some players. And it's all about the players, and that's what they did. And so they got a little better the second year, and this year they were able to